Hello, I'm John from the Haunt Informer.
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
This is episode 36 of Fall Informer, and today we're going to talk about mobile topics within the haunt industry. And you can start out giving a teaser about the new experience at Terra Labs. I'm actually repping my Terra Labs shirt today.
So yeah, Terror Labs. I'm not exactly sure when they're officially going to open, but this is going to be an all year, all round thing where it's a virtual reality escape room type thing. Which is I got to test it out. I got to try it. It was really awesome. It was definitely a cool, unique experience. But once they start officially saying when they're open, I'll definitely promote it on my Instagram and stuff like that. But it was definitely a cool experience, definitely different. I love what Terror Labs is doing with their haunt, but this is now this like virtual reality escape, and that was the first time I ever did like a virtual reality type thing, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. It messes with you a little bit of you're thinking things are there in front of you and they're not absolutely not. But no, it's pretty cool.
I
It's
got a question for you. Are you wearing the VR like the Oculus Rift? Are you doing that and then walking through rooms trying to
no
find
no no
a
no
way,
no.
or
You
are you
you
in one
stay
spot?
you stay in one spot. It's kind of like
Oh,
a
okay, okay.
squared, like a section off squared
Oh, okay, okay.
type thing. So you're in one room, one little area with your group.
Okay.
So yeah, no, you're not wearing these things. Wow, geez, that would be a nightmare. You'd
Yeah.
be
Well, haunted houses have done that.
walking into things. It was bad enough. I thought there was a table in front of me, and I went to lean on it, and obviously that table was not there. So no, no, it was definitely awesome. So I'm definitely going to keep a lookout on my Instagram, their Instagram for opening dates. And like I said, it is going to be a year round thing. It's not
Nice.
just going to be during the haunt season or one off things. It's going to be open all year round.
Did they say anything about possibly changing the theme, like from year to year?
Yes, there are, because I think right now there's six different themes you can do.
Nice.
And then I think every year it gets changed up.
Nice. Nice. Awesome. I'm
So,
happy they
so if
thought
you
it out.
do it once or if you do it multiple times, there'll always be something new to do. Sounds
Wonderful.
awesome.
Yeah. Sounds really cool. I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
VR is fun. I did a VR years ago where the one I did was it looked like you were a guy tied to a chair and you couldn't escape, and like things were crawling on you like spiders, and it was really cool.
Nice. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this was definitely fun. It wasn't the one I did was like a horror. You're in like this old like haunted house looking thing.
Nice.
But they're not all like horror themed. They're not all like horror stuff, and they're not. It's not like it's an escape room type thing, but it's more like a problem solving puzzle to things with
Okay, okay.
you know.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. Definitely check
Yeah,
it out,
yeah. No,
everybody.
it was a lot of fun. I can't wait till they officially open and start promoting it more, and people can go experience it.
Yes. And just recently, there were Friday the 13th events, and one that was very popular was at the Dark Hour Haunted House run by Alan Hops and his great crew down there in Plano, Texas. And it was a really interesting experience they had where they had mobile versions of classic slasher characters from your favorite horror movies, like Michael Myers, but they called him the Shade instead of the Shape, and they sculpted their own mask that was different. They did Jason Voorhees, but they called him Jacob, and they did Ghostface, but called it the Shriek, and they all had their own unique backstories that were different than the ones from the movies. And if you were quote unquote caught by them and killed, you were given a sticker and said you were killed by that character. And I thought that was really fun. And it did so well, the whole event sold out. And they're doing it again in February for like Valentine's, and they're going to do like a Valentine's Day twist. So I'm assuming they're going to do something with My Bloody Valentine. That'd be awesome if Axel was trying to come after you. That's not
Yeah.
confirmed. That's not confirmed. It's just my thought process how they can make it Valentine's Day with serial killers coming after you. So that's super neat. And there's lots of other Valentine's Day haunts that are going to happen. Of course, Field of Screams is going to do Valentine's Day. They have mobile years under their belt doing that, so they know how to do it well. Bennett's Curse is going to do it. So shout out to our friends at Hackney Haunts. They are doing a Valentine's Day event, and it's going to be on February 11th, and it's going to be called Cupid's Massacre. And there's two haunts, Love Bites and Cupid's Massacre. And it's in the same location it was before. This is not a different location. It's still in the same mall, and you can check it out. So lots of different haunts out there. And my favorite name for a Valentine's Day haunt so far is called Valentine's Day Sucks. And that's at Fright Haven in Connecticut, Stratford, Connecticut. And that's just a hilarious name to me. And the whole backstory for it is it pretty much says, we hate all this nonsense with the love stuff. We just want blood and gore. There's going to be evil teddy bears coming after you, Cupid coming after you, people trying to rip your heart out of you. It's all kinds of craziness. So sounds like a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah. Definitely multiple options. Is like Brighton doing one and 13th hour? Both of them are doing.
Brighton's doing one and 13th hour is doing one as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Dark Valentine at Brighton. And they're doing this like weird kind of like you're going to this club and there's like people dressed in latex and it's going to be really weird and it's going to be like this crazy nightclub vibe. So that should be interesting. So, and then 13th hour is going to do their awesome show with Valentine's Day twist on
Are
it.
you doing any?
Am I going to any?
Yeah.
I am not sure if I am. I really hope I am. I might. I will definitely announce it if I am. And another one that's doing it is Laurel's House of Horrors down in Laurel, Maryland. And they always do a really good job. And they have an event called Love is Blind. And they're going to have Valentine's Day theming all over that haunt. And it's already a really awesome haunt because it's inside an old theater. They take full advantage of that. There's one scene I don't really want to ruin for you, but just to give you a little bit of a tease, you're pretty much walking past a theater screen and you go past the seats and it's awesome. It's really good. And there's someone playing a piano and it's so good. So definitely check out that haunt. It was the most shocking haunt to me last year because I heard good things about it for years, but I just wanted to check it out for myself. I didn't know what happened. And then it was amazing and I loved it. So highly recommend checking out these different haunts. Yes.
Nice. Yeah. No, I know for a fact, like, I won't be going to any Valentine's Day. I love the idea of it. These haunts doing a Valentine's Day one, but wake me up when it's May and halfway to Halloween. I don't do anything in the winter. I'll straight up say I don't do anything in the winter. I pretty much hibernate. It's too cold.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love it. I think it's awesome that these haunts are doing it. I support the idea. I'll definitely support the idea of a Easter one.
Yes.
There's very, very few Easter ones out there.
Yeah, it's pretty much Pete and his crew at Insanity Haunted House in Peru,
Yes.
Illinois.
But no, yeah, it's awesome. So if you can get out there, check out a Valentine's Day. Just I don't know.
And tell us different haunts that are near you that I did not mention. Put those down in the comments below and tell us which ones you like. For sure.
Yeah. Well, you just mentioned one now down in Texas and Connecticut. And so yeah, if there's any others out there that.
And the Darkness is going to do it too. They have one called the Perfect Bloody Valentine's Date Night.
Sir Henry's got to be doing one. I didn't check their Instagram, but Sir Henry down in Florida.
Yes, they are doing one as well. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're down in
have
Florida,
a really good backstory for the different trails there. So.
Down in the Florida area.
Yeah.
The weather's a lot nicer in February down there than up here. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they always do a great job. I remember I watched a video of it last year and they had this like special interactive experience where the guys would go one way and the girls would go one way. And then this one character like interrogate the guy and act like he was going to hit him on a hammer to like put him in place. It's pretty funny. They did a whole Christmas haunt. I know this has nothing to do with Valentine's, but they did a whole Christmas haunt. And I watched a video of that. And at one point, Mr. Claus, Santa Claus, and Mrs. Claus were fighting and throwing snowballs at each other. Oh, it was so funny.
Nice.
So, yeah, they were having a great time with it. So definitely check out these haunts during the off season because they are just as intense during these off-season haunts. Do not think, oh, because it's a different theme, it's not scary. No, it's going to be scary. And if a haunt can touch you, they're going to touch you. Other haunts that can't will still get close to you, and it's going to be still intimidating and crazy. And another thing that's fun is they're going to mess with the soundtracks at these haunts. So they might have more retro songs, have that more creepy vibe where they do it a lot of times in like Insidious and different paranormal movies. They always have someone play a record. They most likely would try to lean into that, and that might actually happen in a haunt. So you said a lot of haunts were playing Patsy Cline last year, didn't you?
Yeah. I know definitely Lehigh Valley. I forget the other one now. It might have been down at Curly's. Curly's Haunt might have been playing
Yeah,
Patsy
might have
at
been.
one point, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, it's always cool to hear like different stuff. It's always cool to hear, not like your standard, well, as soon as you hear like Leonard Skinner, like a hillbilly scene's coming or something.
Yes,
So it's
yes,
always cool to hear like something different
yes,
leading to a scene.
exactly, exactly. So, what are you looking forward to the most to see at haunts this year? Like, what kind of interactive experiences do you want to see more?
Um, I, God, I don't know.
Like, what kind of things do you like? Like, do you like air blasts? Do you like more video effects? Do you like more things messing with the floor? Kind things like that.
well, I like illusion stuff that messes with your mind. We went through that the one room at Lehigh Valley
Yes,
that
that was
really
really
messes
cool.
up. It's like you look like you're going to like fall over.
Yes, it
The
does.
upstairs in the house looks like you're going to fall over.
Yeah,
So
that whole
stuff like
thing
that.
moved. I did not expect that whole thing to move.
Um, Stuff that messes with your mind. I really like going into like and not just your standard like vortex tunnel, like stuff
Yeah,
that really goes outside of the box. Nothing. I love going through a vortex tunnel,
yeah, yeah.
but um, stuff that's like whoa, that messes like the paint on the walls can mess with you, or the way the floor is angled, or the way that there's strobe light with fog that messes with you. So stuff like that. I want to see more of that, and I want to see more Halloween themed stuff. Like
Yes,
not the movie Halloween themed stuff, like
yeah,
actual pumpkins and
yes.
scarecrows and stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to go through like a corn maze, but like
Yes.
all that interactivity.
Yeah.
Some haunts have done it very well in the past, where it looks like you actually are walking into a jack-o'-lantern and it smells like pumpkin spice.
Yeah,
So,
that's amazing.
yeah, I
Like
bet you'd
that's
love
what I want to see.
that.
Yeah.
Bet you'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean I know it's only January and there's still a lot from now until September, but
Yes.
my plan is to hit as many smaller haunts this year as possible.
Okay.
Try and like skip the bigger ones this year and just mainly focus on those small ones.
All right. All right. I'm gonna try to go to pretty much everything new this year, pretty much, because I've been to some haunts that are bigger haunts and I really enjoy them, but I've been there so many times I know what's gonna happen. So I'm
Right.
gonna go to some other places that it's like I don't know what's gonna happen here. It's gonna be like a brand new experience for me. Like I've never been to Hackney. I'd love to go to Hackney haunts. So different places like that I like to support.
Yeah, 100%. Nothing against these. Like I love Field. I love
Yes.
Creek Acres. I love the bigger ones, but I've been there so many times that it's like maybe like every 5 years I'll hit them or something just to see. Because like you said, you've been through them so much, you know what's coming. And even though they change it up, it's not
Yeah.
they change it to like a drastic thing. It's still you're still going through the same way. You're still going through the same room. They're just changing the theme, but it's all the same room. It's all the same path. It's all.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen when Bates changed all their rooms around.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him change the way you walk through it.
Yeah,
Like
that would have been interesting.
you go in where you usually come out, so that way the queue's in front of the house,
That would have been cool to actually
and
walk
then
through the mouth and then
yeah, right.
yeah.
And then you would exit where you would enter in
Yeah.
now, like off to
Yeah.
the side. that's the change that I would love to see, and on just completely change the whole thing around, like the way you go in, the way you come out, the way,
Yeah, and
stuff
some
like that.
some special events for haunts, they actually do that where sometimes they will have you go through the exit. So it's like a complete 360 for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I understand some places can't do that,
Yeah.
and I totally get it. But the ones that can, the
Yeah.
ones that can do that, I would love to see that.
Yes. And definitely we want to see more of home haunts this year. So are you going to try to go to more of those like in the same kind of vein like
I would. Oh yeah,
others?
yeah, yeah. I'm going to, this whole leading up to the season, going to research of like, okay, who are these smaller haunts? Who are doing these home haunts? Who are doing these like ones that need
Attention.
need to be talked about because
Yes.
people might not know about them.
And of course Scream Mountain. Scream Mountain was awesome. That
Yes. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
for anybody that hasn't heard you talk about Scream Mountain in the past, definitely tell them about that because that was a very crazy hayride.
Oh yeah. The hayride was absolutely intense, but that's what I love about these smaller places. They can do very intense
Yes.
stuff like that, where it's like actors at a bigger haunt where they got multiple carts going through can't really. I mean, they do. Don't get me wrong; these actors do give it their all on every cart and everything, but there's something about those smaller places that, man, you can really go at it.
Yeah, definitely. And that trail was really unique. The one guy gave you a tongue.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. So,
Um, yeah, no. So I'm gonna do some research and find out these kind of smaller places. Go check them out.
yeah. Have you ever been through a haunt where they did the thing where you just go through with a glow stick? Have you ever done that?
No,
Because they
no,
do, I'd love to do that. That'd be so
I've
much
never
fun.
done that.
And sometimes they have that with a waiver because the actors can steal it from you.
Oh,
And then you just have to
okay.
go through the whole thing not knowing where you're going.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I would do that. People years ago, the people down in Texas with the House of Torment and 13th floor, they
Hmm.
started that years ago and called it blackout. And I think they still do that.
Oh, okay.
So they're the ones who started that. So that's fun. I know some haunts like the Factory of Terror in Ohio, they're gonna do something like that. It's gonna be like glow stick night. So,
Oh, okay.
that's interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Always
that'd be
something to
pretty
mix it
cool.
up.
So, yeah, that'd be cool.
So, what effects really stood out to you last year? I know we did a whole like recap thing with HH 365, but like the things that really stood out to you, like favorite walkthrough, like trail, like what actors really stood out to you, like what really stood out to you last year, like what was very memorable to
Um, God, now got me off guard here now.
you.
Hmm. I don't know. I think the hayride at Scree Mountain was by far one of the best hayrides I saw from that year.
Yes,
um,
Lehigh Valley was really good too.
oh, Lehigh Valley always puts on an incredible. As I said, that always. Whenever I describe Lehigh Valley, I always say that it's just. I know when I go there, it's just going to be an awesome night.
Yes,
From the Midway area to hanging out at the bonfires to the DJ to the food, to all four attractions. It's just going to be an awesome night. There's no question about that. So everything they do there is great. Um, and they're getting better and better every year. I think they're
yes.
you know there's the system they got now is just getting better and better. Um, but better and better every year. I did Bloodshed is doing. I mean, from when they first started doing that drive-through, it was kind of a mess of, well, not they just didn't know what they were doing because they never did it before. But now they
Yeah.
got years under their belt. Um,
It's like when Jim told us, he said there was no manual of how to do a haunted drive.
exactly, and they're pulling it off so good now.
Yes.
Um, So that's always a fun night. I always love going to Bloodshed,
Yeah, I
seeing
was
all
watching.
that. But no, I'm gonna try. I know last year was I knew going in I won't be hitting as many as you guys.
Yeah.
But this year I'm gonna try and step it up, try and get, to a lot more, especially if I could find you like smaller ones.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
And then with the smaller ones, like try and find them like next to other places where I could like
Yes.
try and hit like two in one night or
Yes, definitely. It's kind of like when you can do Hotel of Horror and Waldorf, kind of like that.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Hotel of Horror was really cool. I liked
Yeah,
how they
oh
pulled
yeah.
off the alien theme. I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, no, hotel's awesome. They're doing some awesome things there.
Yeah. It's really unique there. Like it's easily one of the most unique haunts I've been through. It really is. It was special.
Hmm.
You were like telling me like years ago, you were telling me it's just somewhere you just have to go to experience it. Like you can't properly describe it, and you're not wrong. It's hard to describe.
Right. It's like whatever. I don't know. It's just the whole atmosphere, the whole setting, the being in that lake house thing, the whole vibe of that place is just awesome. It freaks me out. But I love what they're doing there.
Yeah, one year Glenn went through the whole thing by himself and he said he was really freaked out.
Hmm.
Oh man. So this is something that I always enjoy seeing. I like it at haunts when it doesn't end with a chainsaw. Like, don't get me wrong, I love chainsaw scares at the end, but I prefer just seeing other people get chased by it that are actually scared of it. I'm not scared of it. So I always like seeing when they do something different, like if they have a massive puppet try to come at you and different things like that. If they have something different. So I always look for that in haunts, and because that really goes with like the uniqueness to me. Like, what's more the one of the most unique endings to a haunt you've seen that didn't have chainsaws?
Um, but didn't
Because Penhurst has some that don't end with chainsaws.
yeah, I'm trying to think of some like unique things I've seen.
What about
Uh,
Bennett? How'd Bennett's go?
Chainsaw.
Oh, chainsaw then. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's a chainsaw at the end of that. Whether or not they sold out, I mean, this has been
Yeah, years.
I think when I went down there, they might
Okay.
have changed it up, but um, yeah, I'm trying to think of like who doesn't end on a chainsaw. Um,
How does Dark Dreams end at Creamy Acres? Is that a vortex tunnel?
and it might have been, yeah.
There was a vortex tunnel with that.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine going through a
Yeah.
vortex tunnel to end it.
Hmm.
Uh, the attic at Frightland is a good ending where it's like you're walking through like those like body bags
Oh, yep, yep.
to get to the door. Yeah, no, that's a great ending to
Yeah,
it.
the prison at Frightland's pretty cool too. It doesn't end with the chainsaw.
No, it doesn't.
So
How does anything at Frightland end with a chainsaw? To be honest.
I don't think anything does.
Yeah,
Because the Hayride definitely has a chainsaw, but it's not the end.
right.
Hmm, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, some an end that I really thought was interesting was I'm not going to entirely ruin it because it was really cool, but you have to go and see it for yourself. But near the end of one of the parts of the Blood Prison, Ohio, in Mansfield, Ohio, you had to go past multiple cell blocks, multiple cells. So you're going past that in the dark, and you don't know if someone's going to come out of there, someone's going to come at the ground at you. And it was really dark and creepy in there, and that was a really good ending. I really liked that. And another ending was you went past, and it looked like this one prop had its head cut off and it was coming at you and lunging at you, and another character was coming after you, and it was really interesting. So you just have to go to all these haunts to see what we're talking about here because and I always love seeing the grabbers from Gore Galore. Like at Penhurst, they have that like massive like zombie with hands that comes out at you and like tries to grab you.
Okay.
I always love those different endings. Is there any horror movies you want to see in 23?
God, everything looks so bad.
Evil Dead Rise looked good.
That looks awful, John.
That looks awful.
Awful.
Why? That looked interesting to me.
It you could take off the name Evil Dead
Hmm.
and throw any name on that. The Exorcism of whoever and the
Yeah.
Conjuring 12 and when that it's just like this is just another possession movie. And I understand that's what Evil Dead is. Evil Dead
Yeah.
is a possession movie, but don't make the same possession movie, that's
Okay.
been done since, for the past 10 plus years. Like
Okay.
I was expecting so much more and I don't need it to be campy and cheesy like the Evil Dead movies,
Hmm.
but I don't want it to be just a knockoff of all the other possession type movies. And one part where like the girl was like in like the bathroom stall, like above the tub, and she's like all contort. I'm like, how many times have you seen this in a movie? Like, how many times have you? I don't know. I probably won't even watch that. It looks so bad. I hear good things about this Megan, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have. I have heard good things about it. I want to see it.
But I'm not even at all remotely excited about this new Scream movie since five was terrible.
I thought Scream 5 was all right. I didn't think it was the best.
Um,
It was all right. The kills were the best part of that thing. Wouldn't you agree? Kills were the best part of Scream
yeah,
5?
kills were fine, but I mean, I don't know. Like kills should be good in a horror movie,
Yeah, yeah, true.
but I don't know. I feel with Scream, like the whole build up to Scream is like, oh my God, who's going to be the killers
Yeah.
now, and what's their tie to all and it was just like, well, this was the biggest letdown ever. This was the big dumbest reveal.
Yeah. I went with my friend and his father told me he knew who the two killers were almost immediately.
I I don't know. It was a big letdown when it's like when like that's what you're anticipating, you know. Like when the Scream movie, you're anticipating that like this big reveal of who's going to be, what's the connection, and it was like, wow, that's terrible.
All right. We don't even want to tackle Halloween Ends, do we?
No, um, I'm actually glad there's not a new Halloween movie coming out. I'm actually thrilled about that.
Oh my gosh.
And then this guy's going to try and do The Exorcist. Oof,
Yes.
yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? The first
I don't know.
Halloween, first Halloween he did, the 2018 one was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed that one.
Okay, and you know what? To be fair, John, I don't want to like just immediately start ripping apart these movies like the new Evil Dead and new
Yeah,
Scream
yeah.
6. Nothing about these gets me excited or
Hmm.
about it. Nothing about them like I'm anticipating. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this. It's just like, oh, this is it. The last movie I felt like super excited, like I can't wait to see this movie was the Pet Cemetery remake.
Oh yeah.
And I was not disappointed by that at all. Like I love that movie.
Okay.
And that was the last time I really felt like anticipation, like excitement. That's what I want to feel when I say I want to feel that anticipation and excitement, and I haven't felt that since, geez, what was that, 2018, 19?
It was a
19,
while ago, yeah. It was a
yeah.
while ago.
Um,
I wish horror movies had the teaser and didn't show too much in the teaser and actually Halloween Ends actually use what's in the teaser. Because everyone thought going into Halloween Ends it was going to be Lauren Michael, and then the whole thing's Corey Cunningham.
this is what I will say about Halloween Ends. I don't want to get off on this whole thing.
No, no.
I actually thought there was a movie in between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends that I didn't see. Because I'm
Yeah,
like, what is going on in this? Like, what does this have to do with anything that I just saw from Kills?
yeah,
And I'm like, was there another Halloween movie that I'm not aware of?
yeah, yeah. Because they went back in time to like 2019 and then they jumped forward 4
Yeah,
years.
it was a mess. But no, I just want to get excited about a horror movie, and nothing is remotely exciting me. It's just kind of like, oh, you know,
Well, at least you have all the classics. You can just go back and watch them.
yeah.
So I watched My Bloody Valentine for the first time recently, and it was actually really good. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the reboot isn't any good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, the original My Bloody Valentine's is a great movie.
Yeah. And the reveal and everything was good too.
Yeah.
I like the scene where the all the suits come down and she's like trying to get out of them.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That was really cool.
yeah,
And the whole thing they do with like the tension building and that was really cool. Like giving the hearts to people. That was really interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a fun movie. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. It's a fun slasher movie.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
fun
Yeah, it's a fun
slasher.
slasher movie. Yeah. Exactly. So if you were to like make your like dream horror movie, which character would you like to see done? Like what are you looking for? You don't want to see Supernatural and you don't really want to see a reboot. What kind of character do you want to see? Do you want to see a
It's
slasher?
not necessarily a character. I don't necessarily need to see. I'll tell you what I loved about the Pet Cemetery remake: the
Okay.
atmosphere of that movie, the whole entire atmosphere of that movie, and the sense of dread that
Uh,
movie had.
yes.
It's just like there's nothing about this movie that is a feel good movie.
No, no,
Um,
not one bit.
there's nothing that's like remotely uplifting or
No.
anything. It's just and then the whole atmosphere of like it being set in the woods, the fog rolling in. It's
Yes.
just
And all the kids running with like the masks on.
yeah, yes, yeah. That
Mhm.
whole and it's not necessarily that the characters are great, but it's just this whole and the tone of that movie is so dark and just dread. That's the best word to describe that movie is dread.
Yeah. Did you see the movie The Menu? That was interesting.
No, I never even heard of it.
Oh yeah, it's it's like there's a fancy like you have to pay like $1,500 to like go to like this fancy chef's like island and go meet him. You have to go on a boat to get there, and he has all these fancy different meals he gives you, and they put the titles on the screen when they say what it is, and all of it is leading up to this thriller, and crazy things start happening. And
Hmm.
I thought it was interesting.
No,
So
I never heard of that.
yeah. So and the ending is really funny, like a really dark humored joke. It's like, oh, it's this. And it's cool. It's worth seeing.
Hmm.
So, did you see the Chucky series, season one and two? Oh, it's good.
Nope.
There's some good kills in that. There's good kills in that. They're actually making a haunted house out of that. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, making a haunted house out of the Chucky series. This year.
Oh, what's this I hear about them doing a permanent one out in Vegas?
That's true. They're doing it. That's confirmed. They're making a new permanent haunted house out in Las Vegas.
That's gonna be open all year round, right?
And they're going
Yeah.
to change it up and move it around, and they're going to have different dining options and drink options, and should be really cool. On the
Yeah.
teaser art, they had Jack the Clown, which is one of the icons of Orlando, and they also had Chance, like the shadow, like the outline of them. There's
Hmm.
also another character, but we aren't sure what that one is. So that should be really interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea they were going to do that. It was like all of a sudden, here it is.
Right.
So who knows what they're going to have in it? I bet they're going to have, since they tease the icons, I bet they're going to use their own icons they've come up with, and then they're going to use like classic horror monsters they've come up with, like
Right.
Universal too. So it should be interesting because they
Yeah,
can't, like they're gonna put a lot of money and time into it, so they're gonna do
right. It's
they're gonna do a
right.
good job. So, and I watched a video where someone said the people that are doing the Stranger Things experience, have you heard about that?
No.
The Stranger Things experience, it's on YouTube, you can check it out. The Stranger Things experience is where they do this pop-up where you have to go through this like Stranger Things themed escape room and no one's allowed to record it. No one's been allowed to record. They're very strict about it. And you go through this Stranger Things themed escape room, you go through mobile rooms with groups. It's I heard it's really fun and good. And then after that, you go into this whole themed gift shop and they have like the Surfer Boy pizza from season 4 and I've heard that people that were working on that seem to be working on this new Horror Nights thing.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same quality and really interactive,
Right.
especially since they can move it around. They can change out the sets. It's not always
Right.
the same thing. So that's the kind of thing where you can do a build up and tear down.
Yeah,
Especially
sure.
since Horror Nights knows how to do that. That's literally what they do every year,
It-
build up and
right.
tear down. So they're masters of that. And they can do a good job doing it too. So I'm curious what they're going to use exactly. Do you think they're going to try to push for the retro or the new stuff?
New stuff.
Because in the synopsis for it, they alluded to using monsters and new stuff. So, but they didn't say what new stuff. So who knows what they're going to use? Because I know they're friends with Blumhouse, so they might use different Blumhouse properties they haven't used yet.
I
So
bet you it's all new stuff to get the people in. I mean, as much as I would love to see Universal monsters in haunts, I'm probably like the only one who would love to see that. You
I
know, yeah,
do.
I know, John, I know you.
I
But I
love
don't think the general public, I don't think like the majority of people who go to haunted attractions, you know, they rather see Pennywise than or Michael
it.
over, you know, Frankenstein or you know, Wolfman. But I
Yeah.
think that would be awesome.
I'd love to see the creature of the Black Lagoon. Just give me that. Like no one does that.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that, especially with a laser swamp. Imagine that. Creature of the Black Lagoon, a laser
hmm
swamp. And I'd love it if you did like projections with like this new projection mapping. That's like a new trend in the haunt industry. They're actually going to teach that at the Transworld Haunt Show this year. They have a professional who knows how to do it. It'd be awesome if they did that and you actually felt like you were walking through water and you could feel like you're the one getting chased by him in the water. That would be
I
so
think I think it would be awesome. They could really do it on a hayride, and it looks like you're driving through like a movie theater, and
yes.
then each set is a different, and it would be all black and white. You know, if they can paint
Yeah.
every set black and white,
Yes, do a grayscale. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That would be wonderful. I would love that. Pair that with that trick or treat idea we had. They actually
right,
give you candy at
yes,
different doors.
yep,
That'd be like the perfect haunted.
yes, yep,
Because I remember years ago you said Chambers of Hell was trying to do that, like give you candy in it.
yeah. I saw that they were doing something like that.
So
It was like adult trick or treating or something like that, and
yeah.
you can.
Hey, Disney
But
does
I don't
it.
know. I don't know if like that is the theme of like you
Yeah.
know like you go to like a set and it's like they either give you candy or you know you
You scared. Yeah.
get yeah right
Oh man. What makes me gives me hope is that bands like Ice Nine Kills who do a lot of heavy metal music with movies like retro horror movies is that they keep on keeping that alive. Like they did a whole song about Psycho and had a really cool music video with it, where the lead singer is dressed up as Norm Bates and has like the whole dress and everything. And that was interesting to me. And they did a whole song about My Bloody Valentine called Take Your Pick with Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse. So it gives me hope that even young people are listening to this stuff. So it's keep it alive.
right.
So, and did you hear they're gonna do like a spin-off series of Friday the 13th? Because they finally understood the settlement. It's like the legal battle's over.
Oh no, did I hear that?
Yeah,
I
they're
heard
doing
they were
some
doing another TV series
yeah, they're doing
of
some sort of
something.
series about it. Yeah.
What did I hear them doing a TV series about? And I'm like,
Oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna make it as TV series.
oh really? That it wasn't that.
They
I'm
are gonna
blanking
do
on
that.
what
That's in the works.
I forget what it was, but I heard like another TV series coming. It's like I don't know. I don't know how do you have enough material to drag it out through like different episodes,
Yeah, like 8 episodes or something.
you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm. I've been John from the Haunt Informer,
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
and that was episode 36 of Fall Informer. And thank you very much for listening to us. We're going to have new videos out in the future, lots more episodes, more interviews, all that good stuff, fun coverage of haunts once we start going to them, halfway to Halloween, of course, all that good stuff. Stay tuned. And until next time, happy hauntings.